Ladies and gentlemen, we have been discussing adequacy and equity in education funding for almost 200 years. You go back to 1818, the delegates at that time were uncertain how we were going to provide for a good education for everyone. And certainly we can all agree that the current formula that we have that has been created since 1997 doesn't give us the kind of equity and adequacy that our children need to become successful in their career and in their lives. So we need to do something different. And what has been put together and is the foundation of this bill is the 27 elements that are proven to be best practices for educating the needs of our students. The formula also comes up with an adequacy target that for the first time tells residents in a school district how much they need to invest to get their students to an adequate level of education and to be successful. Those elements in and of themselves should direct us to say that this is a good model. And when we had difficulty looking at SB 1 and other bills that have come before us, we have had partisan discussions about what's the right direction to go. So as we look at 1947 in Amendment 5, we have a bill that has been crafted by our leadership and by several of us on negotiating committees appointed by the various leaders to try to come up with a bipartisan solution to the many issues we're facing. And by definition, a compromise includes things you like and things you don't like. We've heard some of those, and certainly in the debates from those outside the chamber, we've heard about a lot of those issues that some people don't like. But we have to look at what other legislators are looking at to get their support for this bill. And as we look together at the things that Representative Davis outlined that are in this bill, we're finding that we're supporting local district choice to use the dollars that we're putting into the system that will move us closer to our constitutional requirement that we pay a majority, the people of Illinois pay a majority of the cost of education. If we follow this model for the next 10 years, which is the model that has been outlined, we will be at that adequacy level of 50%. And that really ought to be a driving force in our decisions on this bill today, is it's moving us to provide the resources that students need. It's moving to deal with the challenges that our school districts have. It allows the school districts the independence to decide what's best for their communities. And it brings us to a better system that is more adequately funded. It provides for some choice in property tax relief. Certainly it's not as much as some would like. It's more than others would like. It's what you might call a compromise. And certainly as you look at the waivers and the mandates that our side of the aisle has been talking about because our school districts are talking about it, we move in that direction as well. So there are pluses and minuses in this bill. And I would just ask is that we really look at how this is going to impact the resources and the education in our district, how it's going to move us more towards adequacy and an equal opportunity that builds a more educated workforce, that will attract jobs, that will keep jobs in our state, and that will help grow our economy. Because as has been mentioned already, we are heavily taxed in Illinois. It's time to grow the economy, grow the revenues of this state without taking more from the residents that we have. And this bill gives us that opportunity of a better educated workforce, some property tax relief, some benefits that both sides of the aisle have been asking for. So I strongly advocate for a positive vote on this issue. It's going to be game-changing, and it's going to move Illinois forward. I ask for your support.